right. So 2 years at Chelsea, 2 years in 7A Region 3. Now you're heading to a different Region 3, back to 6A. What are kind of your? Well, I think we all kind of figured Chelsea would go back down at least this reclassification. What are your kind of thoughts there on going back down?
Yeah, obviously, we were already 6A numbers, for the past 2 years, and they took the elementary school away from us, and we lost about 100 students, right before we started in 7A. So we were already probably sixth, seventh, eighth largest 6A in the state at that point. We never really even thought about that. It was more of just play our best in every game, and it was a great experience. I felt like to play in that 7A league. You definitely feel like you're an underdog in a lot of the games, but our kids played hard in most of them, and we competed and had some chances to do really well in a couple of games. Just didn't finish some. A couple of games during those 2 years. But I was really pleased with the way our kids went out and competed, and we're not, in simplest terms, afraid of what their competition might give them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could see that the last 2 years. Like I think everybody knew just the depth challenges in a way that Kelsey faced playing against Hoovers and Vestavias and Thompsons and people like that. But I think maybe I said it to you after a game
Absolutely.
at Hewitt Trustful or something like that. It was just like you could see that fight.
Yeah, most definitely. And we lost a really good senior group, that had been through those wars a little bit. We had 19 seniors this year that we lost, and I would love to have seen those guys play a year in 6A. With Emerson and Jackson and those guys to be able to play a year in 6A. But I think our kids now learned a lot from those guys and from the experience that we had in 7A.
Yeah, and I mean, me and Kyle, especially the last couple of years, we obviously talk a lot about 7A Region 3. I mean, everybody does, but there's some shakeup now in 6A Region 3, but that region's been ultra competitive in its own right the last few years, and now you're looking at, I mean, Benjamin Russell, Calera, you guys, Chilton County, and then Helena, Pelham, and Spain Park. I mean, it's not like it gets easier.
Yeah, I would have rather had like 1A Region 3, but 6A Region 3 is pretty dang good, man. We played three of those teams last year, and with Helena, Pelham, and Calera. Oh, I'm sorry, four of those teams with Spain Park as well. So we're definitely familiar with those teams in that region. So it's going to be very competitive. Bench and Russell, man, they're athletic, very good, very well coached. Chilton County is going to be athletic, and I'm sure their new head coach is going to do a great job with them. He comes from a really good pedigree. So and Calera with Coach Riles now, with the new coaches in the region. So yeah, I'm expecting this region to be probably one of the best in 6A. And we're going to have to go and really compete hard in every game to have a chance to make the playoffs.
Let's talk non-region for a minute. I'll get to the first game last because I want to talk about that one, but I'll go in reverse. So you go to Oak Mountain. We understand that one. I mean, it's a rivalry game. It was a Region 3 matchup. You've got at
Right.
Paul Bryant, and then the first two games of the year on August 30th, you've got Wetumpka. But on August, is it August 24th? That's what this is showing. But Mobile Christian.
No, it's the 23rd. I think yeah, it's actually the 23rd. I don't, for some reason, know the first schedule I think that went out was the 24th, but it is the
Okay.
23rd.
How did that game come about? Because I mean, that was a 15-0 state championship team a year ago.
All right, so yeah, we had Elmore County scheduled, had them all the way up until mid-January, and he called and said that they needed to cancel it to schedule someone else. So I was scrambling, and we were, man, I was thinking, who the heck are we going to play? Because it puts you in a tough bind when you don't have that week 0 game, or our week one game, and so um, we were worried we might have to play some schools out of Georgia, and that's never a good matchup. And they're able to do a lot more in the summer than you can, in padded practices and stuff like that throughout the summer. So ended up talking with Mobile Christian, and I feel like it'll be a good matchup for us. And the only problem is we got to go there next year. So which is a long trip, but I think it'll be a good matchup for us. I think that with them having I saw them in the state championship game. Man, they're really good. They're really big up front, and but I think it'll be really good, stage setter for us to see where we're at.
Yeah. I didn't get to come out to a game at Chelsea this last year. Did y'all debut the turf last season?
The turf was debuted 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago.
And this year, I don't know if you know, but we have swapped the home side. We have a whole brand new home side being built. Dude, it looks so good. And they actually, I think, doing the walkthrough on the bleachers next week, to finalize it. And then, so new press box, all that stuff. So visitor side will have their own press box. And it looks like a true 6A, 7A type stadium now. Getting new concessions, new bathrooms. You got the jumbotron last year as well. So there's been a lot of work put in and make this stadium look very presentable to everyone who comes out.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that kind of stuff is becoming more and more important, regardless of classification. Just like facility upgrades that you're seeing across the state.
Yeah, obviously, you got to do it to keep your kids. I mean, that's sort of been the problem here is we trickle out some of our better athletes throughout the to other schools because our facilities have not been up to par with some of those other schools, and I feel like we're putting a stranglehold now on like our middle school kids and our youth kids because they're seeing this and they're experiencing this and they really like what they're seeing, and hopefully those kids will stay. We've got a real good middle school group going to be coming up next year, and dude, there's those kids are we got some high talent in those groups. We got to keep those kids instead of letting those kids move to other schools. And if that ever happens, Chelsea can definitely be one of those top 5, top 10 teams in the state.
Yeah, I mean, kind of in that same vein. Ooh, there's some kickback. Sorry. Uh, Kind of in that same vein. Keeping kids. Y'all are back to 6A now. Chelsea hasn't had, I think, a winning season. I think it's since 2016. Like, what are the key factors in getting back to those winning ways?
Yeah, we've got to continue just to get bigger and stronger. You go out there and look at our kids, man. It's like, and those kids work their rear ends off in the weight room constantly, and but we just got to keep getting our kids to the point to look like 6A, 7A type kid. And that's a battle. I mean, when you got kids that play multiple sports, you got kids that they we don't have those big bulky type kids, I guess is the best way of saying it. They like to lose weight and they like to look good, and sometimes that's a battle, when you got those type kids. And the thing here is our kids are all very high academic kids. We out of our 19 seniors last year graduated, 11 of them are going to engineering school. I mean, got 3 or they're going to be that want to be pilots. A couple of them are wanting to be, in law school type stuff. I mean, it's extremely intelligent kids here. And, we had 430 plus kids wise on our football team. I mean, so, extremely high intelligent kids. And, it's just, we are who we are. And I keep trying to remind our parents that sometimes, that this is who we are. We've just got to, continue to build those kids up as best as possible.
Absolutely. How do you feel about 2024 coming up? We've kind of talked about the schedule. Who are some guys that people can watch for? I mean, obviously replacing a guy like Emerson Russell at running back is, I mean, good luck there.
Right.
I know quarterback left for another school.
Mhm.
Who are some guys that are now kind of catching your eye heading into the season?
Yeah, Romello Cooper. He's a DN outside linebacker kid. 6'4", 220. Really good looking kid. He's come leaps and bounds from where he was at last year. He played last year like at 195, 200 pounds. And he's put on about 20, 25 pounds and got several D1 offers already. He's a kid that, you know, he's had some of those opportunities. And I like to tell this story because I think it needs to be said. But he's had some opportunities to go or has been asked to go to other places. And he says he's good where he's at. And to me, that means a lot, for a kid to have some loyalty and to have some determination to stay and try to do things the right way here. And he's got a lot of good future ahead of him. He's just got to keep growing and keep maturing. He's one. Ethan Prickett's going to be a linebacker for us. He started 3 games and then got injured, tore up his elbow in the Tuscaloosa County game. But he started for 2 years for us. Really good player. He'll do a great job. Sort of lead that defense for us. Be the quarterback on the defense for us. Offensively, C.J. Durbin's a returning receiver. Anthony Lanzey's a returning receiver. We're pretty good up front. I feel like our O-line is going to be pretty strong. And Miller Bauman will be our quarterback. He'll take over quarterback for us. Miller's a baseball kid that's been with us, and he's 6'3", 180-pound kid that can run it a little bit. He played some last year. He was sort of our wildcat type kid at quarterback for us, and so he's just got to keep working on his accuracy and throwing. And but I feel like he'll do a really good job for us.
How do you how do you improve a quarterback's accuracy? Is it just reps? Is there certain things that they can work on their own in the off season when you don't necessarily have them that they can
Yeah,
do?
and the biggest thing with him is his feet. When you get your feet too wide, you lose some accuracy there. He throws the football like a baseball. You see him like kick his foot up like he's you got to keep your feet on the ground. And we hired a quarterbacks coach right after the season. Jamie Scruggs brought him over from Hoover, and dude, he's doing so much, so much. He's had these kids out here working on their own, and I feel like Miller has improved so much since we hired him, and I've been really pleased with his work with those kids.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to the most about this season in particular?
Just I know this is not the best answer, but just the opportunity to be able to compete in every game. And I felt like there were games last year that we didn't compete well in just because of that talent gap. And I feel like this year we'll be able to talent wise be able to match up better with everybody that we play. Just going into games knowing that we can match up with those guys and have that opportunity to match up. And another thing is just this bunch is really fun to coach. They like the energy that we have on the practice field. We've been going through spring. We'll actually play tomorrow in a spring game against Stanhope Elmore. And just the energy that these guys have on the practice field, man, it's been so much fun. It's honestly one of the funnest bunch. This is year 25 for me, probably one of the funnest bunches of kids to coach. And as a head coach and as position coaches, we come in there every day and like, man, they're easy. They're easy to coach. And as a coach, that makes things feel so much better when you know that you can just go out there and have fun with the guys. You don't have to get onto them too much. And when you do get onto them, they yes sir, no sir, and they do things the right way after you get onto them.
Yeah. What is it like from a spring game? What kind of what's a handful, three, I don't know, however many things that you're wanting from a game like that it doesn't count for standings, you might play a half, you might go 3/4, that kind of thing. What are the takeaways that you look for in a game like that?
Biggest thing we look for is number one, can we tackle? You don't do a big amount of tackling, at least to the ground, in practice anymore. So that's the biggest things. We want to see if we can, get guys on the ground. Next thing is just lining up. You're going to see some formations, probably some looks that you haven't seen in practice, offensively and defensively. Can we line up and match that intensity when somebody else is in a different colored jersey against you? And the third thing is how do they respond when they get hit in the mouth? Because at some point they're going to get hit in the mouth tomorrow night, and are they going to put their heads down, or are they going to keep fighting through it? So those are the biggest three things that like I said, the first thing is tackling. You just want to see them go out and tackle through the whistle, whereas we've had a bunch of quick whistles in practice.
Yeah. So okay, so this is going into year 3 at Chelsea. So you're well ingrained in the community now. I like asking coaches this, especially ones who, it's not their first year and it's not their 15th year at the school. Like they've been there long enough now where they understand the community and that kind of thing. What's your favorite thing about the Chelsea community that you've learned so far?
Man, the support has been absolutely great. Our quarterback club, has done so much for us. Our city, heck, with the new bleachers, the turf, the jumbotron, the city committed a bunch of money to all those projects, and not only for football, I mean, for all other sports. They built a covered batting cage for our softball program. They built a brand new baseball, facility down the road. I mean, so there's been so much that they've committed to our program. So, obviously the support here in Chelsea is unbelievable. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen from our community.
What's favorite place to eat in Chelsea? Where we go? Where are we going on a non Friday night?
Absolutely, Station 31. If you ever get a chance, come hit up Station 31 here on 280. Man, it's a great place, and they're one of our jumbotron sponsors. So I gotta say that. But
Perfect.
I love that place, man. They got great pasta, great wings, and it's a wonderful place. We do our radio show there as well. So.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Last year I got really into like wanting to go to places that I haven't. Like I volunteered last year. Like I'm trying to remember the game. 5A football playoffs. John Carroll was at Fairview up in like the Coleman area, and I've
Okay.
never been to Fairview.
Cool.
And I was like, I'm gonna
I've been
leave
to Fairview.
early. That place was awesome. I mean, just old school, type
Yeah,
of community and stadium and stuff. And so I'm trying to map me out some places. So Station 31 is going to have to make the list, I think.
absolutely. Did you go to the steakhouse there in Fairview?
No, so I actually I like taking the back roads, and so I went.
I got
Where did I cut through? I think I stopped about halfway because I made it like a whole trip.
you. Yes.
So I stopped in there was a produce place I wanted to go to that I'd been to before in Cleveland, Alabama.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
I stopped there and checked out the rivers right next to it, and I ate at a Mexican place there at like 2:30 in the afternoon. Like I mean I made this like
Okay.
a whole day long trip, and I was the only one there. So I didn't get to eat somewhere in Fairview, but I got there early enough where I could explore the school because I mean it was built like 100 years ago, and I'm a big history guy. And so I just kind of like walked around and probably looked a little creepy to some people, just some guy walking around the front of the school by himself. But uh, you do what you got to do for content, I suppose. But yeah, Station 31 that'll have to be on the list soon.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you, Coach. Thank you for doing this, and looking forward to seeing some Chelsea football in Class 6A this fall.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys for all y'all do. You're always welcome to come out and join us. If you want to come out and see the new facilities, please do. I think you'll like what you see.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much, man.
Have a great one.
You too.